Most businesses that try PR and fail, they're not doing it wrong. They're just doing someone else's PR. The playbook that gets a SaaS company into TechCrunch is completely different from what gets a service firm into Forbes, which is completely different from what gets an e-commerce brand into Good Housekeeping. And if you're running the wrong playbook, it doesn't matter how good your story is. Nobody's going to see it. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how PR works for 4 different business models: SaaS and tech, service businesses, e-commerce, and personal brands. For each one, I'll give you the outlets that actually matter, the story angles that get picked up, and the kind of results you can realistically expect. All of this comes from real campaigns we've run. So let's get into it. Why most PR fails before it starts. Before I get into the playbooks, there are 2 beliefs I need to kill real quick because they're costing founders real money. Myth number 1, PR is only for big brands with big budgets. This might be the most expensive lie in business. The brands that look big because of their media presence, half of them built that presence before they were big. PR didn't follow their growth. PR is what caused their growth. Think about what happens when a founder doing 2 or 3 million a year shows up in Forbes, gets on a podcast with 80,000 listeners, gets quoted in Bloomberg. What happens? All of a sudden they look like a category leader. And here's the thing, that perception becomes real. It changes their close rate, it changes their pricing power. Clients start coming in already sold before the first call even happens. PR is not a luxury you add once you've made it. It's a growth lever you pull to get there. And the founders who keep waiting until they're big enough, they're watching smaller, less accomplished competitors outpace them simply because those competitors get started earlier. Myth number 2. PR takes 6 to 12 months to see results. Look, this is what bad agencies say to buy themselves time. We had Phoenix Capital's executives on CBS News within 2 weeks of signing with us. 2 weeks. And a podcast placement we secured for another client, that generated 250 call signups from a single episode. 1 episode paid for more than a year of their PR retainer. Now, long-term strategy absolutely builds compounding results, and that compounding matters a lot. But waiting half a year to see anything move, that's not a PR problem, that's a strategy problem. When it's done right, you see results in weeks, not months. So here's what actually kills most campaigns. It's the wrong playbook for the wrong type of business. An e-commerce brand pitching a financial journalist? That's wasting everyone's time. A SaaS company chasing lifestyle publications? Burning budget. The strategy has to match the business model. So let's break it down. PR for SaaS and tech companies. Alright, if you're building a SaaS or tech company and you're not in the press yet, here's the actual problem. You're competing in the most crowded media category there is. Everybody's pitching. Journalists are completely numb to product announcements. So the game is different for tech. You're not pitching your product, you're pitching your perspective. Here's the thing about tech media. It runs on trends, not companies. Journalists aren't looking for another product announcement. They're looking for a smart, credible voice who can explain what's happening in the market right now. AI, tariffs, regulatory shifts, whatever's moving. Your job is to become that voice. So there are 3 angles that consistently get SaaS and tech companies placed. First is expert commentary on trending news. Something big happens in your space, you reach out to the journalists covering it, and you offer your take. Not to pitch your product, just to be a useful, quotable source. You do that consistently, and before long, journalists start coming to you. Second is the founder narrative. Why did you build this? What did you see that nobody else saw? What did it cost you to get here? That's your origin story, and it's what makes you human in an industry that leads with features and specs. People are interesting, features are not. And third is data and research. If your platform generates data on user behavior, market trends, or industry benchmarks, that is a pitch in itself. We analyzed 10,000 accounts and found this is a story. Package your proprietary data and lead with it. Outlets you're looking at: TechCrunch, Bloomberg Technology, Wired, Forbes Tech, Fast Company, Business Insider. But don't just go wide, go targeted. If your software serves a specific vertical, get into the trades that vertical actually reads. That's where your buyers are. And don't sleep on podcasts. B2B SaaS podcasts, founder podcasts, operator communities. A 45-minute appearance on the right show creates more conviction than 6 months of banner ads. One thing to avoid: placements in outlets your buyers never see. A consumer lifestyle feature does nothing for a B2B SaaS company. You've got to match the outlet to the buyer. Great example of this: Jay Young, founder of Embark Advisors, came in with a Goldman Sachs background and a capital raising focus. Our team secured 717 pieces of coverage for him, including Bloomberg and Business Insider. And none of that came from product announcements. It all came from positioning Jay as an expert on the topics his ideal clients actually care about. That's the playbook. PR for service businesses. Service businesses have the highest PR ROI potential of any category I've seen. Agencies, consultancies, law firms, financial advisors, coaches, and almost none of them are taking advantage of it. Here's why it works so well. Service businesses are built on trust and expertise, right? PR directly funds both of those things. When a prospect Googles your firm and finds a Forbes feature, a Wall Street Journal quote, and a Business Insider byline, the sale is half done before the call even starts. That's third-party credibility doing the heavy lifting for you at scale. The angle that works every single time for service businesses: you are the product. The story isn't the company name, it's the person running it. What you've built, who you've helped, what you believe that most people in your industry aren't saying out loud. That's thought leadership positioning, and it's the engine behind every strong service business campaign. There are 3 content types that get service businesses covered consistently. Number 1, expert commentary on timely news. If you can take what's happening in your field and translate it into something a general audience actually understands, journalists will quote you, and they'll keep coming back. 2, client results framed as industry insight. Now, you can't always name your clients, but you can talk about what you've seen, what worked, what didn't, and what it means for others in the same situation. That's basically a case study wrapped in a lesson, and editors love it. 3, contrarian takes. If everyone in your industry is saying one thing and you believe something different, and you've got the receipts to back it up, that's a story. Journalists love a credible voice that pushes back on the consensus. Agreeable content doesn't get covered. For outlets, you want to mix Tier 1 business press with vertical trades in your niche. Like, a financial advisor should absolutely be in the Wall Street Journal, but they should also be in the publications their referral partners actually read. Both matter, and podcasts are non-negotiable for service businesses. A 60-minute conversation with the right host in front of the right audience is honestly worth more than 10 articles. The listener spends an hour with you before they've ever met you. By the time they reach out, they already trust you. That's a massive advantage. We placed the financial expert on the Savings with Steve Sexton podcast. That single appearance generated 250 call signups. It covered more than a year of PR retainer on its own. 1 episode, targeted show, aligned audience, right story. That's all it took. PR for e-commerce brands. E-commerce is where most PR goes to die. And it's not because PR doesn't work for product brands, it's because founders keep pitching the wrong story to the wrong outlets. Here's the mistake: e-commerce founders pitch their product. But journalists don't write about products, they write about stories, trends, and people. Nobody's doing a feature on your supplement because it has a clean formula. But they will cover you if you're the founder who watched people you loved suffer from a problem nobody was solving and decided to build something to fix it. The product is the vehicle, the story is the founder or the mission behind it. So here are 3 things that actually get e-commerce brands placed. 1, the founder story, a personal connection to the product category. Health struggles, a family backstory, a career pivot. Those are human stories, and human stories get covered. 2, trend angles. Is your category growing? Are there macro forces that your brand is part of? Pitch yourself as the expert voice on that trend, not just another brand looking for a product mention. 3, social proof at scale. A viral moment, a community that formed around your brand. Customer results that are genuinely remarkable. Those are the kinds of stories editors actually want to tell. For outlets, you're looking at consumer lifestyle press relevant to your category, vertical trades, and local press. And don't underestimate local TV. A local segment often gets syndicated nationally, and it's way less competitive to land. And if you're on Amazon or DTC, here's something people miss. A credible press logo on your product page is a conversion multiplier. The coverage doesn't just build awareness, it actually converts. Track referral traffic from your placements. Track the lift on product pages that features those press logos. It compounds in ways that the raw placement count alone won't show you. PR for personal brands. Alright, personal brands. This is the simplest category to get right in PR and probably the most misunderstood. The asset you're building here is you. And honestly, you're already more interesting than any product or company you'll ever build. Here's what a personal brand PR campaign is actually doing. It's building a searchable, credible public record of who you are and what you stand for. So when someone Googles your name, they find Forbes, they find a Bloomberg quote, they find a podcast interview on a show their peers listen to. That stack does the selling for you. You don't have to. There are 3 story angles that work really well for personal brands. Your origin, where did you come from, what did it cost you to get here, what did you learn the hard way that most people in your space haven't figured out yet. This is the most human story you can tell, and it's the one most personal brand founders skip because they think it's not relevant. Trust me, it is the most relevant thing you have. Your methodology, the specific way you solve a problem in your space. What do you believe about how this works that most people are getting wrong? That's the expertise angle, and it's what makes you quotable over and over again. Your contrarian view. What do you believe that the conventional wisdom in your industry directly contradicts? A clear, defensible position that goes against the grain? That's a story. That's a guest post, a podcast booking, a journalist source request waiting to happen. The goal here is omnipresence in your niche, not volume for its own sake. Targeted podcast appearances on shows your ideal clients actually listen to. Byline articles in outlets your referral sources trust. TV appearances in your vertical, especially finance, legal, and healthcare, where being on camera just builds authority faster than anything else. And personal brand PR has the highest long-term compounding of any category. Every placement builds on the last one. Journalists who quoted you once will come back. Podcast hosts refer you to other hosts. Your search results go from nothing to a page full of tier 1 coverage. That compounds whether you're actively pushing it or not. One thing almost every personal brand founder gets wrong: they wait until they feel ready. But the founders who build the most authority, they start before they feel ready and let the coverage build the perception. We had a real estate finance expert who came in early, got placed on News Nation covering interest rates and inflation, and started getting called back week after week. Nearly 25 million views of exposure, 6 billion in total audience reach. The camera didn't wait for him to be famous. He got famous because he got in front of the camera. Alright, there's one thing that kills PR campaigns across every business type, regardless of category. Placements without a clear story. You can get into Forbes, you can land a podcast, you can stack logos on your website all day long. But if every piece of coverage tells a slightly different story, if there's no consistent thread about who you are and what you stand for, the coverage doesn't compound. It just sits there. People see it and feel nothing. It doesn't convert, it doesn't build authority, it's just a logo on a page. So before you pitch a single journalist, answer 3 questions. Who am I? Who do I serve? And what's the one thing I want to be known for? When those answers are clear, every piece of coverage starts building toward the same outcome. The Forbes feature and the podcast and the Bloomberg quote all reinforce the same story, and that story just gets louder with every new piece. When those answers aren't clear, you're just collecting placements, and collected placements don't build businesses. This is actually what we do at Otter PR before we pitch a single outlet for any client. We build the story architecture first: topics, angles, positioning, messaging. What's the narrative thread? What do we want someone who's seen 5 pieces of coverage to believe about this person? We get aligned on all of that before anything goes out. Then we execute. And look, you don't need a PR firm to start clarifying your story. You can start there today. Before the pitches, before the placements. Just get the story right first. Every business type has a PR playbook that works. And the ones that get real results, they're not the ones with the biggest budgets or the most famous founders. They're the ones that started, matched their strategy to their business model, and stayed consistent long enough for it to compound. Authority builds whether you're building it or not. The only question is who it's compounding for. Alright, so we just covered the exact PR playbook for 4 different business types. If you're sitting here thinking, okay, I know which one I am, but I need someone to actually build this for me, that's what we do. Otter PR is a 2-time Inc. 5000 firm. We are ranked number 1 on G2 and Clutch. We guarantee media placements every single month. Forbes, Bloomberg, CNN, Wall Street Journal, podcasts, TV. We handle the pitching, the story creation, all of it. You get a full team. Click the link below and book a strategy call with us. We'll look at your business, tell you exactly which outlets make sense, what angles we'd pitch, and how fast we can get you results. If it's a fit, great. If it's not, you still walk away with a plan. Links right below.